Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to give a lecture about Confucianism and what we learn from the history of Jewish people in Haifa University. I know many Israelis have been to China in the past several years, and they must have known that great achievements has been made in China. You know, economically, the GDP in China is in number 4 probably, and the living standard has been much higher than before. It means the Chinese people have made great progress in economic development in the past 3 decades. However, the Chinese people are also faced with many problems. One crucial issue and problem for me is moral and cultural crisis. I mean, many Chinese people, especially the young Chinese, have little knowledge of Chinese culture, and they don't know how to be Chinese. Well, they are very westernized, and they accept value from the Western world, and they devote themselves to science and technology and making money, and they don't know what Chinese tradition is, and they don't know what Chineseness. And so I think we Chinese people have to live as Chinese. But how to be Chinese if the Chinese don't know their culture and don't understand the tradition and can't establish Chineseness? So it seems to me a very important task for the Chinese scholars, especially the scholars in humanities, to reconstruct or to modernize Chinese traditions. I think among the Chinese traditions, Confucianism is more important because Confucianism played a role as a state religion for thousands of years and dominate in Chinese history. Many Chinese people, the old generation, accept Confucian value and educated their children to follow the Confucian principles. And only after the May 4th movement and after the Cultural Revolution, and the Chinese people, the young generation of Chinese people, forgot about the tradition. So I think the scholars in universities should devote themselves to reconstruction Confucianism. And they have to systematically, for me, to build the Confucian system and also write something popular and educate the Chinese in universities and outside universities. Let the Chinese people, let the youngsters know what Confucianism is. Let the people know what Confucian values. So they can follow Confucian value in their daily life. Of course, it takes some time, and it needs many scholars realize that this task is very important and very urgent. I think it's important for the Chinese people to live as a Chinese because in this world, in the process of globalization, the people have to live as a people with their own identity. And Chinese people should have their own identity, and they should have their identity from their own tradition, from their own culture. When I studied Judaism abroad, and especially the history of modern Judaism, I learned quite a lot. In 19th century, the Jewish people started a reform. They reformed the traditional Judaism, although after the reform movement, the traditional Judaism was split into different denominations, such as Reform Judaism, Orthodox Judaism, Conservative Judaism, Reconstructionism. All these denominations belong in the category of Judaism. So the Jewish people, whether they are in European countries or in America or in Israel, are practicing Judaism, although they are in different denominations. In this way, they can maintain their cultural or spiritual identity. Of course, the Jewish people have modernized themselves politically and economically because they are in the West. They integrate themselves in Western world. They modernize themselves as the West has modernized. In China, we are in the process of modernization. However, many Chinese people have no idea how to treat the relation between modernity and the tradition. Many Chinese people think we just need modernization. It means to develop economy and to learn science and technology and put them into practice, to develop economy and nothing else. I think it's really wrong. From the experience of modern Judaism, I learned that the Jews in the diaspora have modernized themselves politically, economically, and scientifically. At the same time, they can keep their identity by practicing Judaism. We Chinese are also in the process of modernization. We have to develop ourselves economically. We want to modernize ourselves economically, politically, and scientifically. However, we also need to be Chinese. We also have to practice Chinese values. From where we have Chinese value, I think the only way for us to have the Chinese value, to establish Chineseness, is to reconstruct Confucianism, let the Chinese people know Confucianism and practice them in their daily life. When we cope with the relation between modernity and tradition, we should learn from the Jewish experience. We have to accept both tradition and modernity, and not either modernization or tradition. We need both. I think the Jewish people in the past century has set up a good example for us to learn. The Chinese people actually are in the process of modernization, actually have made miracles in this process. At the same time, I think the Chinese people have to realize they also need to live as Chinese. They need to maintain Chineseness by learning the positive values from their own tradition.